Welcome back to our deliberations on the Parsha. I hope you all had a wonderful Pesach. Parshas Tazria Metzora speaks in the main about the Metzora. Our Chazal tell us that of the 7 sins from which a person gets this spiritual malady, the top of the list, of course, is Lashon Hara, Motzi Shemra, speech. In that regard, the Medrash Rabbah tells us a beautiful story of a certain great called Rev Yanai. Let's review that story. We have probably learned it before, but I think perhaps we'll find something new and insightful when we review it. So the Medrash goes like this: there was a certain peddler who was going in the area of northern Israel, and he cried out and he said, "Man boy lemizvin samchaim." Who wants to buy the potion, the elixir of life? Otken ale, life. People came running. Rabbi Yanai Haviyasu Pashe Betorkaline. Rabbi Yanai, one of the greats of the generation, was sitting and he was learning Pshuto Shel Mikra. He was learning Tanakh and he was trying to figure out the basic, essential approach to the scripture. Shammai de Machriz, he heard this fellow peddler calling out, "Man boy samchaim." Who wants this elixir of life? Amalei. Ta sak lahochas ovenly. Come around. Come over here. Sell it to me. Life. And of course, he was looking for a good life. He was looking for a meaningful life. He was looking for a happy life. A life with friends, a life with family, a life of positivity. Life, bring it on. Amalei, lav ant tzorichle, lo de kavasach. So the peddler said, "You, aren't you Rabbi Yanai? You don't need this. You don't need it. And people like you don't need it." Atrachale. So he was pressed him. Solik legabe. So he said, okay. So he came around to him. Hotzi lo sefer tehillim. And wouldn't you know it? He took out a book of Psalms. Heralo pasuk mi ha'isha chavetz chaim. He opened up to Psalm 34, kapitel Lamed Dalet. And he said the pasuk, mi ha'isha chavetz chaim. Who is the person who wants life? Oh, if yom livros tov, who loves his days to see good. Metzora lashon chameira. Guard your tongue from speaking evil, and your lips from speaking deceit. Sur meirav aseh tov. Turn away from bad, do good. Bakei shalom v'redfeu. Seek out peace and pursue it. So Amar Rabbi Yanai responded, really? Whoa, David HaMelech said that? Av Shlomo, Machriz va'omer. His son Shlomo in Mishlei, he said a very similar thing. Shomer piv u'lashon shomer mitzoras nafsho. The person who guards his mouth and his tongue, he saves his soul from troubles. Interesting, right? He knows Shlomo HaMelech's pasuk, and he doesn't know David HaMelech's pasuk. You know, David HaMelech's pasuk, we say every Shabbos morning. You know, there are Jews in our lifetime that know the entire Tehillim by heart. And certainly in previous generations, simple Jews knew the entire book of Tehillim by heart. There were tailors and there were shoemakers and mothers. They knew the book by heart. Rabbi Yanai, who was sitting and learning Mikra, that's what the story says. He was learning Mikra. He didn't know this pasuk, which we say every Shabbos and davening. He didn't know it. And his response to this pasuk is, "Oh, Shlomo HaMelech said that too." What's going on? All the Mefarshim asked this question. Amar Rabbi Yanai. So Rabbi Yanai responds now, and he says, after he quotes the pasuk of Shlomo HaMelech, He says, Kol yoma hayisi koreh b'posek hazeh. All my days I read this pasuk. V'lo hayisi yodeh heichanu pashut. I didn't know how to interpret it. Really? I could have told him how to interpret it. It's straightforward. Who wants life, loves his days to see good? Metzora l'shon chameira. What's wrong? What didn't you understand, Rabbi Yanai? And he concludes, until this Rochel came and taught me. So all the commentaries ask this question, but I think the answer is right there. His first response was, Shlomo HaMelech said this. Why did he respond that way? Okay, Shlomo HaMelech said this, but I'm telling you about David HaMelech. What are you so excited about what David HaMelech said? The Chavetz Chaim, in his Shmiras Halashon, Chavetz Chaim wrote two great works on Lashon Hara. The first one's called the Chavetz Chaim, and that's where he got his name from, and that is the halachas of Lashon Hara, the laws. And there's a companion book about the thought of Lashon Hara. And in the first 4 or 5 chapters of that book, he asked this question, the following question, on this pasuk of Mi Ha'ish, who is the man who wants life? He says it's a very unusual answer that David HaMelech gave. Who wants life? The answer should be follow the Torah. Don't do the negatives, do the positives. That's what the pasuk says at the end. But why does it start out with Metzora l'shon chameira? Guard your tongue. When Rabbi Yanai learned this pasuk, it seems, he read it as one run-on pasuk. Okay, you know what you have to do? Guard your tongue. Don't speak any deceit. Don't do bad. Do good. Bakei shalom. Seek out peace, etc. In other words, do all the mitzvahs. Don't do averis. Do all the mitzvahs. You're going to be good. You'll be happy life. You'll be good interpersonally. You'll be a positive person. You'll be a successful person. The Rochel, however, the peddler, he said, don't read it that way. Read it. Who wants life? Metzora l'shon chameira. Stop. The foundation, the bedrock of all of one's observance between man and man, between man and God, positives, negatives. It's all Metzora l'shon chameira. The Chavetz Chaim in the Shmiras Halashon, so he asks, why is that? And he has several answers to it in the first 4 or so chapters. But the Chavetz Chaim, perhaps based on this Medrash Chazal, is saying just that the cornerstone of all observance is how we speak. And therefore, Rabbi Yanai responded, oh, I didn't realize the pasuk was saying that, because the pasuk went on to talk about a number of other things. But Shlomo HaMelech, he just said, Shomer piva l'shono, Shomer mitzaros nafsho. You want to take away all the negativity in life, all the fights, all the issues that we have at work, in marriage, in shul. How do we take care of that? Shomer piva l'shono. And then you go on from there. He said, now I understand the pasuk. I didn't understand the simple interpretation of the pasuk. Indeed, that's, I believe, what this Medrash is saying. It's the cornerstone of everything. How we speak. How we speak to our spouse. How we speak to our children. How we speak to our parents. How we speak to our employers. How we speak to our employees. How we speak to the man or woman on the street. It's a complete game changer. And from there, we go to Sur Meira Vasei Tov. We go to every other aspect on life. if we begin with a proper speech and a pleasant speech, a positive speech, a speech which builds, a speech which gives life, then indeed we have chai. We have found life. Have a great Shabbos. Thanks so much for listening.